when I wrote this book, The Wealth Cure, it was like, okay, how do we cure the racial wealth gap, right? This came out 10 years ago. And the whole thing was, okay, technology wasn't there to scale impact the way it is today. The technology is here now. We don't, it's decentralized. We don't have to go through any centralized institution to actually do the things. Back then, I was talking about, okay, you got to set up, well, first of all, here's an old school ledger. This is doing your whole budget. I had January, February, you don't need any of that anymore, right? But at the end of the day, I was talking about how do you use the systems that have been in place for all these years to build cross-generational wealth in our community. And I was using an analogy because I'd been diagnosed with cancer. Your health is your wealth. So therefore, what are your own wealth factors? What can you do? What's different today is that you don't need to go through all of these traditional historic institutions to create cross-generational wealth. And so therefore, and that's what's flipped, the decentralization of your ability to navigate and move using technology to build and create cross-generational wealth down the line. And so I would update so much of that. And then with Letters to a Young Brother, I would talk and Letters to a Sister, they need to start early. My son's 5 and I got him to talk about Bitcoin.
Yeah.
Why? Because there's the old school rule, Ian, and I know you talk about it, the time value of money, right?
Yes.
Time in the market is better than trying to time the market. All of those things being in longer, we can start our babies, our young people early.
At a young age, yep.
And they can start themselves early, right? And so that's powerful. That's powerful. If you take a young cat, start dollar cost averaging $5 a day. I don't care if it's in a dividend paying stock. I don't care if it's in Bitcoin. It doesn't really matter. If you just start doing it, set it and forget it at 13 years old, forget about it. Right. And that to me is the opportunity that's there. And that's why on our platform, we have this whole dollar cost averaging thing that we're launching next week, because we want people to be able to literally go into the app, literally not have to think about it anymore. Mm-hmm. So go in, hit it. Once you get in there, go in, you'll be able to hit a button that says $5 a day, boom, do your buy. And then you never even have to think about it again. And then
your automation is better than motivation.
The automation is better than you would have to think every day, check pricing every day, go live your life, love on your loved ones, and let the technology do your investing and do your work.
So let's talk about this. Dollar cost averaging. You're extremely big on dollar cost averaging.
I am. I'm big on it.
Yes. You said something before where you went to a town in like Alabama or something like that. You met with the mayor. And you said if they put in $5 a day, what was that conversation you had with us?
We were gonna build. They had if there were, it was Tennessee, and the mayor was very big in crypto. Sat down, took a meeting, and the way we realized, we broke it down. If we took 30,000 people in their town and we got them dollar cost averaging $5 a day, we're going to be able to build over $75 million in wealth in that small town within 5 years. 75 million for that community. And we can do the exact same thing wherever we go. Again, it's getting back into the habit. It's about a mindset shift, and it's about getting out of the Robin Hood mentality. Robin Hood is Robin the Hood, y'all. I mean, this is real, because Robin Hood is trying to encourage you to be a trader. And my whole thing is, I don't want you to be a trader unless that's what you really want to do. And you really
even then, if they want to do it, it pays more to be. And I trade for a living. Long-term investing pays a multiple way higher, way higher. I mean, to cut you off, but I have to chime in.
No. I hear you. I mean, listen, if you want to have those 3 screens up and be like Ian and moving money.
But that's what I tell everyone: invest 80% of your money, and then you never have to worry about that you get in at the right spot or losing a bunch of money when you could have had the money working for you.
Absolutely. I mean, let's be honest. No matter the most invaluable thing any of us have most is our time, right? Time's more valuable than any crypto. It's more valuable than any stock. And so if you're going to spend all your days watching price movements and stressing out about it and worrying about this, it's better to just dollar cost average day. That's what I say, because then you can actually live your life. You can go be creative. You don't have to worry. You set it and forget it. Let it do its work. Let it do its thing, and then go live your life and do those things. And so that's, I'm not giving anybody any investment advice. Let's be very clear. What I am telling you is just what I do. I buy Bitcoin every day. I buy the same amount every day. And sometimes I'll do some smart DCAing. So let's talk about what that is. You can set up what you want your smart DCA to be. Smart DCA would be if you decide, okay, you're going to have a set number you're doing daily, weekly, or monthly, whatever that number is. And then you say, oh, whenever the asset moves down 5% in a 24-hour period, I'm going to double down, or I'm going to put in X dollars more, whatever. Or maybe you set that number at 10%. Maybe you set it at 2%. Whatever you decide, if it's a downside movement, you go in a little heavier. That's what some people call smart DCA. But the easiest way to do it is don't even worry about that. Set it whatever you can afford on a daily basis, weekly basis, monthly basis, whatever you decide, and let it go and forget about it. And then run into me or Ian 3 years from now, and you're going to run up and be like, yo, that DCA thing, come on, man.
What do you say to the people that's like, all right, Hill Harper, superstar actor, very successful person, but the person that's struggling day to day, that's the biggest thing I've always heard is like, I don't have enough money. I don't have enough money to invest, especially in something like Bitcoin or cryptocurrency, where a lot of people still don't fully understand it. They're like, this can disappear. What is it? It's not tangible.
These from fellas.
Yeah.
You buy J's, going dates, going vacate. Like for me, I don't want to hit.
You can feel legit. At least you can, to play devil's advocate, Ian. You go on a date. If it's a good,
you're not clapping first date.
Maybe
most aren't.
Maybe
just keep it 1,000.
50-50.
20-80.
Okay, I got it. Okay, here we go. Our biggest
ask some entertainment.
Hey, our biggest problem, I believe, is what, in terms of, you look at our community, we have this thing called mattress money, right? We have this idea, 90 to 95% of the portfolio asset that we hold in our community is in cash. Yeah. And that's the problem. If you look at the wealthiest people in the world, 90 to 95% of their assets, it's not in cash. It's in ascending value asset classes like real estate, blue chip stocks, mutual funds, fine art, Bitcoin, you name it, right? We have to get out of cash. That's why we all know people working 3 jobs that barely make ends meet. Why? Because most their asset is in cash. So every night their head hits the pillow, they wake up the next morning, they are poorer because the purchasing power of the dollar is going down. The 22% of the circulating supply was printed last year. It's going to get even worse and worse and worse. So the longer we as a Black community stay in cash, the poorer we will get every day. So my goal is to get us out of cash. The least friction way, quickest, is get you into Bitcoin, right? That's why I set up the platform, get you into Bitcoin. But you don't have to stay there. There's so many other places to get. We need to get out of the US dollar. That is the critical piece, because your hourly wage is not keeping up with the inflation or the decreasing purchasing power of the dollar. Exactly. We got to get out of cash.
And so, plus, no, go ahead, brother.
I was going to say, it's even more important if you are in a situation where you're living paycheck to paycheck. It's even more important. And that's why I get into this argument with these elitist dudes, brothers coming out. I went to Harvard Law School, but so I know a lot of them. They come out of Harvard and they work at JP Morgan and they say, Hill, I'm so surprised by you. And I say, why, brother? And they say, you are encouraging our people to get into such a volatile asset class. What are you doing? And I said, well, how much is your portfolio in Bitcoin? Well, that's not the point. I said, no, this banker the other day told me Well, I don't talk about that publicly, but I keep 5 to 10% of my portfolio value. I say, oh, well, how much is that? And he told me the number. It's a very significant number. And I said, so it's good enough for you, but it's not good enough for them? It's elitist and it's bullshit. We have to be honest. Now, it is volatile. That's why you dollar cost average, to take the volatility curve out. I'm not saying put all your money in, because you may have to pull some out tomorrow. I'm saying put in what you can afford, so that money you don't have to take out. Because if you continue to just live off cash, all you're going to see is get poorer and poorer and poorer on a daily basis.
My graduates from my school being Forbes, bag drop.
Bag drop.
A mic drop, bag drop.
Bag drop.